At FIEC, our passion is to see lost people saved through the glorious good news of the Lord Jesus. That's why our desire is to be independent churches working together to reach Britain for Christ. We're very conscious of the immense gospel need in our nation, and what we want to see is the gospel thriving and growing all across the land.
It's been a real joy over these last 2 years to see more than 80 churches join the FIEC family. Almost 20 of those have been new church plants, taking the total in FIEC to over 600 churches. It's been my privilege over these last 5 years to be able to attend services at 100 of these churches and to rejoice in something of the diversity in ethnicity and practice that we see across our family.
Church planting continues apace within the FIEC. We're grateful for brothers and sisters who are giving themselves sacrificially to this. Though we have to say probably the rate is slowing down a bit, as many churches are turning their attention to helping revitalise other causes. We're grateful for the partnerships that we form within the UK and across the pond in the United States. And we are so grateful for projects that are being developed where we are intentionally looking at particular areas, churches in hard to reach places, rural areas, university towns, and work amongst black majority churches.
We've wanted to bring our churches together to enable them to connect so that they can serve the gospel both locally and nationally. We've been delighted to see more delegates coming to our leaders' conference where we can set out our vision and come together as a whole family. We've had 27 local pastors' network conferences where we've been able to think about the gospel needs in each area around the country.
Working with pastors is a great privilege. In 2019, 27 Pastors Network local conferences were a thrill, particularly as men gathered round maps of a local area, talking and praying about gospel advance. Plans are already underway for 2020, and we hope to have these local network conferences in 32 places. Please come.
What really heartens me about training in the FIEC is the momentum we've seen increasing over the last year. Just look around you at the evidence at the Leaders' Conference, you'll see there's an increasing breadth and depth in those we're training. The challenge for us in the next 12 months is really to push on and to see that depth and breadth increasing as we seek to train all kinds of people in the local church for leadership.
We've seen full conferences for women's workers in our churches and for pastors' wives. I've been really pleased to see new staff join the team in this last year. We've been delighted that Eleanor McGowan has come to us as our part-time women's ministry coordinator, looking after and caring for pastors' wives across our family of churches.
As I look back over the last year, I'm really grateful to the Lord for bringing Eleanor alongside me and for seeing the difference that that's made to the amount of support that we're able to offer to ministry wives. I'm also really grateful to see that there's further evidence of the Lord raising up new generations of women who are wanting to be set apart for gospel ministry in our churches. And as I think about the year to come, I'm really excited about being at Thrive and our Ministry Wives retreat again next year, and just seeing how the relationships between those who are more recently in ministry and those with greater experience are just deepening and developing, and how that really enriches the lives of our churches.
I've been inspired in this role as I've got to know ministry wives in many different contexts, some in smaller churches, some in larger churches, some in rural churches, some in big urban centres, those who are persevering in ministry alongside their husbands and being faithful in what the Lord has called them to. It's been great to see how ministry wives are keen to relate to each other, and I really want to see local groups of ministry wives getting together so that they can support each other effectively, pray for each other, share the encouragements and support one another.
We've been delighted to see the growth of new local fellowships as churches come together to work together. FIEC has helped to set up a thriving Suffolk Gospel Partnership, and Andy Hunter in his role in Scotland has galvanised a mission team working in the northeast and also working in the northwest of England.
Big encouragements over the last year have been the continued growth of the network across all the areas of Scotland and the north of England. We're delighted with new churches being started. We're particularly excited about the Aviemore church plant, which launched this summer with the support of over a dozen churches from Scotland and beyond. We resumed the independent church ministry course at Edinburgh Theological Seminary this year with the highest number of students we ever had. Also delighted that partnership in the north east of England is continuing and deepening with a programme of events over the next year, which we hope will turn the wheel of deepening gospel relationships and action in that area.
One of the great encouragements this past year in London has been the coming together of London City Mission, Co-Mission and FIEC to bring about church planting and church revitalisation. Especially we've seen this in the planting of a church at Hope Church Vauxhall and the coming together and the merger of Stockwell Baptist Church and Brixton Local Church. I'm very excited about the prospects for that, and looking ahead, I just want to see more of that happening in the capital.
We're sorry to see Phil Walter step down from his role at FIEC this year as Revitalisation Coordinator, but he's gone on to take up a pastorate of a church, and we wish him every blessing in that new role. We're grateful for the work that David Shaw has done over the last few years as our theological advisor, and we wish him all the best in his new full-time role at Oak Hill Theological College. Lastly, I want to thank you all, our churches. Thank you for your support for us. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your generosity in funding the work of FIEC. One of the most exciting initiatives in this coming year is that we've been able to give away £800,000 from our mission fund. We received a very generous donation, and we want that money to be used to help churches to grow, to help churches to be able to be revitalised, and to support new church planting. We hope that money will be wisely used to advance the gospel across the nation.